Peace, and thanks for joining us. This evening I have Dr. Eric Patrick, aka Hip Hop Stock Doc. He's the founder of the Black Market Exchange, where he gives savings and investing advice to people of color and anybody else, any community you're from. He encourages people to save and invest more. Okay. Three. So every day there is a new study out about millennials. I am a millennial. There's a new study out, and the one I saw recently was that we make up a third of the wine consumption. So if you summarize all these studies about millennials, we are broke. The money we do have, we spend on alcohol. We don't save, and we do save, depending on which article you read, depending on which day of the week it was published, depending on the mood of the editor. We do save, but we're really great savers. And then lastly, we are in debt up to our ears, right? So being a certified financial education instructor, what are some trends that you notice among millennials when you sit down with them or interact with them on social media? What are some trends you notice?
I think the trends, it really just goes back to the major one is the money side. And that's where you have some of these investing platforms or brokers who are offering lower fees so younger people or millennials can invest. If you have something to where it's only charging you $1 a month or 0.2% for your how much you have in cash in your account, you might be more inclined to start investing as opposed to you say, oh, I got to pay $10 for every time I buy something, or it's going to cost me $60 with this CFP or something like that. I think that's definitely a trend. It's just making it available to people at a lower cost. So a lot of these platforms are saying you can invest with only $5 or $10. Right. And that's a little bit more affordable for people that have lower income, low savings, so on and so forth. Another major trend is just that convenience, and those really kind of tie in together, and that's where the tech side comes in. Fintech is becoming a very big thing now. Everybody's trying to get out there with some type of investing app or savings app. So
Fintech?
Yeah, financial technology, so they call it fintech.
Okay.
And so that convenience side also. I don't have time to sit down with somebody for an hour and talk about this, or I don't want to sit here and sift through all these different stocks that are out there in the market. Let me just get an ETF. And so that's where this term robo-advisor is kind of everywhere now. And that's what a lot of these new investing platforms are. They're robo-advisors where you put money in and it automatically invested in these ETFs, which are exchange-traded funds. And an ETF is just basically kind of like a poor man's mutual fund. So with a mutual fund, it might cost you $1,000 to get in on one. Well, with an ETF, it's like a stock. It might only cost you $30. So it gives you that diversification, which is what a lot of millennials want because it's just easier. But it also has lower fees because ETFs have fees just like a mutual fund would, but they tend to be lower. So I think it's really the money and the convenience are really what it comes into play. And if you can throw some education in there in some of these apps, then you're pretty much good to go in helping them out, really understanding what's going on.
I think you bring up a great point that technology bridges the gaps for things that are lacking. It's very compensatory in a lot of senses. Like if your parents weren't big savers or they didn't pass anything down and they weren't big into investing, it's as easily as Googling or looking into your Android Play Store or your whatever is on iPhones. So I like a lot of the points you made about technology bridging the gap and you not having to start out with $1,000. So that was a big turnoff for me about a year or two ago. Or if your parents didn't teach you about savings and investing, that you have these really easy productivity apps to teach you how to save, invest, and budget. We're gonna go over 3 or 4 apps, the more popular ones, and you can name some if you want to. Simple, Stash, and Digit.
Okay.
Digit, what's Digit?
Digit is it's just a savings app. It's for passive savings, and the way Digit works is it's an app, but it's primarily a text messaging system. So you sign up for the app, which is free, and you link your bank account, and it essentially assesses how much money you have in your account, and it will save a certain amount based on how much you have. So if you only have $50, it might only save $1. If you have 500, it might save $7. And it continues to gauge that. And if you have a certain amount that's, let's say it might be low, then it's not going to save anything. It's never going to cause you to overdraft. And I think with a lot of some of these apps, when you kind of set scheduling and things, you might get into an overdraft situation, and now you end up owing money. So they prevent that.
You can just transfer it back.
Right.
From your stash back to your checking account. Okay, and then Simple was another one. Do you use Simple?
Actually, I haven't, but I need to check it out. I've been seeing
Okay.
a lot of people talking about it. Great for just that passive saving as well. So I've been hearing some great things about it, though.
What about Acorns? Acorns is another app.
I use Acorns. It's an investment app. So we mentioned Digit and Simple being savings. Acorns is an investment app. They invest in ETFs passively for you. So I don't think they call themselves a robo-advisor like I mentioned, but they might as well be, because they pick the investments for you and you just kind of let it run. I personally think that it's a great savings app. The investing side, although you are investing, I wouldn't want people to kind of get the idea that I'm going to double my money in like a day. So it's not that kind of thing. It's called Acorns for a reason. It's saving your spare change or small amounts of money over time. And, you're just going to count on that compound interest to kick in. So I think it's definitely great to help people save. If you couple that with Digit, I bet a lot of people would be surprised at how much money they would save every single month without even knowing it.
Yeah, I'm using Digit. I'm a big fan of Digit.
And I like Digit because of the text messaging.
Right.
Digit has a text where it'll send you a text randomly saying, hey, you saved, $9 this month. Do you want to boost it with another $5? And you can just click a link and it'll do it. Or they might have like little funny images. So they had, it was Diddy and All About the Benjamins video one time. And like, I got this little mini, what is it, a GIF or a GIF? I'm not even sure how they say the term, but I got one in the text message. So it's kind of cool because you don't have to go to the app.
Right.
Even though everybody's on their phone in the app nowadays, getting it as a text is a little bit easier than having to go into the app and check it all the time.
I think I received like a Scrooge duck jumping in the coins. Of all the coins was one of the pictures he got. I thought that was really cool. So the Summer 16 Savings Challenge, you got 16 weeks to save. What are some other savings challenges you have? I know you write for bankmobile.com. You write for blavity.com. And on both of those platforms, you have different savings challenges. $5 bill, dime challenge, which is what I'm doing unsuccessfully. What are some things the Black Market Exchange has in the future after the Summer 16 challenge?
I'm actually considering doing a fall out of debt challenge. So we can help people, maybe tackle some of the debt that they have. So they got their savings going.
Okay.
So, maybe can we knock off some of that debt? And, it might be something maybe to consider putting towards the beginning of next year. Particularly with the tax return seasons, because that's a lot of people get their returns. And one thing people always say is when you get your return, you should consider it in kind of like threes, where you invest a third, save a third, pay off debt with a third, or maybe even fourths. Giving. Of course, you should probably put giving in there as well.
What part of that is consumption? What part of that is consumption? Your income tax?
Oh, I didn't mention anything about consumption in there.
Okay.
By all means, if you want to treat yourself, okay, but do it within reason. So if you get, a 2,000-3,000 return, do you have to consume with all 2,000 or 3,000 of it? I'm sure you don't have to because you weren't expecting it before.
Yeah, true.
So even if it's just, if it's 500 of that, if you want to do whatever you want to with the rest, by all means. But honestly, you should try to save and invest at least a third of it. If you're already in debt and you're consuming more, then you just kind of putting yourself in more debt. So why not kind of be active about it? And the way I see it is if you pay some debt off, then that's money that you have coming in to save even more with or invest with. Because maybe if you're struggling to save, if you pay off the debt, that might be an extra $200-300. Okay, now you can save. So it's just all about a mind shift. How do you view your money? And, how can you really make it work in your favor?
Okay, so a fall out of debt plan. You have a vacation plan, maybe summer vacay. Maybe.
I may consider it. I know with the Summer 16 challenge, some people say that they're saving for vacation. So I like to leave that open. I don't want to say you're saving just for investing. I like to leave it open. But maybe I'll just make it to where it's a 3-tier system. So we have the savings challenge, then we fall out of debt, then it's the new year, so new investments. I think that would be a good little formula to kind of go on. Let's save, let's pay some stuff off, and then let's invest. Because if you save and then you pay stuff off as well, you have more money to invest in, as I previously said. So I think that might be a good little formula to go with, and you just recycle it every year. Because you might think that the Summer 16 Challenge is going to be for this year because of the Drake song, but it's really tailored towards that 16 weeks plan. So this is going to be an annual event. I'm hoping to make it bigger and better every year.
I have one question that was sent to me. It's a pretty funny question because you kind of mentioned it earlier. The question was, will the BMax.com create a 10-year debt repayment plan for newly graduated pharmacists?
Wow.
Or is 10 years enough to pay back pharmacy debt?
It is. If
Okay.
you can. Loan forgiveness program. I'm not sure if you've heard of that, but
I have.
you can actually have that forgiven if you work for a nonprofit or government agency or something like that. And after 10 years, they'll forgive the rest of your loans. So, say for instance, if let's say it costs you $150,000 or something like that, and you've paid off, let's say, I don't know, 100 of it, then that other 50 will be forgiven. So that's a plan that's already out there. You just got to make sure you're making your payments on time, and you have to be on the income-based or income contingent plan to be eligible.
Okay.
So some people might already be paying on a standard plan, not even knowing like, oh, this is another opportunity. Now, in terms of for BMX creating something that's something to consider. I think that if we can get some partnerships in the future, I've actually been in talks with Experian, trying to get a little relationship there. So, maybe if we can, work with something together, it might be something for the future. So we'll see.
Hopefully, Experian doesn't see my face. So I look forward to following up with you, man, at the end of the summer. And he can be found at thebemex.com. That is THEBEMEX.com. Where else can you be found online?
Facebook, just search Black Market Exchange. Instagram at Black_Market_Exchange, and Twitter at BMEX_. We continue to give out great content on those sites. YouTube, you can also search Black Market Exchange. Make sure you subscribe to the videos. We have Verse of the Week on there and Teaching Thursday, so you can get 2 pieces of fresh new content every week, plus our previous videos and whatnot. So blog is jumping as well. So we just got a lot out there. So definitely
Facebook,
follow us, check us.
Savings Group.
Oh yeah, we have the Facebook. So I have an academy as well. So if you go to our site, www.thebmex.com, you can go to the Invest page and join the academy. It's free. There's a free Do's and Don'ts of Investing webinar on there. And you'll be able to join there's a Facebook network for everyone that's in the academy as well. So feel free to join. And like I said, it's free. Join the fun.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you for taking time to sit with me. I appreciate y'all for checking it out. Again, make sure you go to thebemex.com, soak up that good game, get the fresh gear.
Oh yeah, man. We got to drop these again, man.
Get the fresh gear and learn how to invest while listening to Jay-Z and Rick Ross. Peace.